Hello, hello. Good afternoon, traders. Hi, Perry. Hi, Bob. We're going to give it a minute. Did anyone have a hard time? I feel like we're light on numbers here. I know we have a different schedule, but I tried to be as communicative as possible getting the word out. I'm going to go drop this in case anybody is in Discord. Bear with me a moment, guys. We are meeting now. Market wrap. If anyone wants to join us. Okay. There's the link. There we go. Press is coming in. Got one from there. Okay. Okay, press. Good to see you. I was clear. Thank you. I'm glad I was clear. I'm glad, no different than usual. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Well, we're going to dive right in. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Wrap. Easter weekend extravaganza. Market is closed tomorrow, but we will have our Easter egg hunt market posture session on Sunday. I'm expecting that I will have pulled the brisket from the smoker, moving it into the oven to hold for 4 hours or so. Really let it tenderize. Oh, it's going to be magnificent. It's going to be magnificent. Then Easter dinner, Easter lunch, I guess, so I can send all the college kids home. Welcome to the Market Wrap. I'm Scott. Here are the disclaimers. These are our subscription disclaimers. You'll notice I had to add some new disclaimers for our alert service. For the alerts, I got one out. I'll be honest with you. I was just like, you know what? We'll see how this one goes. I'm trying to get comfortable. It's an interesting thing because I can't just like as I trade, it would just be so weird to try to like, oh, I just did, and so I feel like building a an alert that will trigger during the day so that I can give it to you in the morning. We'll see if it triggers. We'll see if it holds. The one I gave today was pretty tight, but it triggered. So we'll see what happens with that. I will be refining that. Maybe you decide the first 8 or 10 you're going to paper trade until we get the rhythm right. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send a video on how to take the trade. I'm comfortable with the option portion of it. Doing a conditional buy order that triggers a couple of conditional sell orders so I can have stops and targets. That's pretty easy. I'll have a video about that. I haven't done, I swear, I'm like forgetting how to do buy stop entries because it's and that's for stock. Buy stop entry for options is pretty easy. I haven't done it for a stock, I guess, and I've tried a couple and I've messed it up both times. So, anyways, I'll get it right. I think most people are trading options, and the options is obviously based off of the stock parameters. So I want you to see the parameters of the stock as I'm trying to prepare for an option trade, whether it's buy a long call, buy a debit spread, sell a credit spread, etc. So we'll get it figured out together. But those are going to start coming. I didn't text it because number one, I think only a couple people have opted in. Number two, I don't know where I'm putting these yet. I'm putting them on Discord, but there's no link for that. I'm putting them in the email, but I'm sending that. There's no link for that. When I do the text will link to something. I have to have a home for these. So I'm trying to figure that out, and then we'll get that going. Excited to have that rolling though. Today's agenda, market analysis of today's market. We're going to revisit our posture, give it a look-see, determine if we're on point, if we're going to make any changes. I'm definitely looking for the April rally to start. So if I feel like something's a little against me, I'm going to hold on to it, even though, and that's even carrying through the weekend, most likely, despite it being a 3-day weekend. We've got Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off. What are we looking at next week? We'll look at the economic calendar, take a peek. Hey, Sandy showed up. Hi, Sandy. Good morning. Good evening. Whatever it is on the other side of the world. Plenty on the shopping list still. And I do believe that means we will have more alerts that will come our way on Monday to be prepared for that. So there we go. Good morning indeed. Let's do it. Let's do it. Market looks a little bullish today. Looks like we're kind of bouncing out of this flag. Great. Ready for it to accelerate into next week. Love it. All set. Looks good. Let's talk market posture first. Let me make sure I have everything all set up here. Okay, here we go. What happened today? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The Dow is so I was looking at these little things. You can always like bust me for what I'm looking at online. But I saw these little like 3-in-1 scooters that you can take it off, and instead of a wheel have like a ski, and in the back instead of a wheel it has like a little tread. And I'm a big guy, like 220, but I'm like, if I could make a little, I would go tool around the field by my house on a little. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. What did the market do today? Up 25, up 0.25 on the S&P. I need something now that my kids are gone to entertain myself, Dow's up 0.19, Nasdaq's a little flat. Russell up 0.45. And it's interesting because I saw a new take on this. Someone's like, energy's up. Now we really have a broad market. And I'm like, I don't think that's my take. Oil's up another 2% today. My wife texted me yesterday. She's like, we just had to pay for something in gas. I'm like, holy shit, where'd that come from? That's what I'm talking about. This is not good. It's not broad. I don't like oil being high. I don't like materials being high. That doesn't benefit me at all. If we can trade it, we can maybe get a little benefit from it, but the longer oil stays high, the longer materials stay high, the more impact it's going to have negatively on our inflation numbers. And that's going to kick the June to July to September. Who knows? But if that happens, the market's going to adjust. That's where we may get like a sideways to even consolidative market. Remember, consolidation being a 10% drop. But the market stays, it's okay for now. I mean, if it does, it's not like we're panicking. We're just saying it keeps going. Eventually, we need it to stop and pull back and whatever else and go back. U.S. economy grew at 3.4% in a Q4 upgrade. So let's take a look at the economic calendar. We were expecting 3.2. We got 3.4. Jobless claims came in exactly where expected. Low twos, no problem there. We were expecting home sales at 1. We got 1.6. That's better. The Chicago business barometer dropped. I don't really care. Consumer sentiment earlier this week, we had a slight drop in a consumer confidence read. but then we got a slight uptick in this one. So, okay, little balance. Remember that tomorrow we have information coming out. PCE numbers are coming out. Income and spending numbers are coming out. Jerome Powell is speaking somewhere, but there's no market for it. So we won't see that until Monday. What do we have next week? Jobs. First week of the month. Jobs. We have job openings on Tuesday. We have ADP on Wednesday. Standard jobless claims on Thursday. Non-farm payrolls on Friday. A lot of jobs. There's no expectation for any disruption there because numbers have been strong. We expect them to stay strong. Why do I expect the numbers to stay strong? Because I haven't seen even a hint of weakness coming from our weekless jobless. If there's ever going to be our weekly jobless, if there's ever going to be a surprise in the monthly numbers, we would expect that after we saw 2-3 weeks of like, oh man, look at this. The weekly numbers have ticked up. Now, that's not to say an unexpected surprise may not come. I'm just saying I don't expect anything negative coming that way. What else? Today's heat map. Financial staying pretty good. Industrial's pretty good. Still waiting for signals on Apple and Microsoft, which is fine. Maybe some signals coming. Meta, not Apple. Meta, Microsoft, maybe NVIDIA. Maybe some software in here. Quick look at the Fed watch. Just no expectation at all in May. That just keeps dropping. The expectation for a drop has gone from 18 a month ago to 11 a week ago to 9 yesterday to 4 today. And we still have 5 weeks before that meeting. When we look at June, yeah, it's starting to ebb. Now, a month ago, we were at 52, and then a week ago jumped to 62, 63, back to 61. We're still close to 2-1, but we were close to 3-1 for a minute there, and we're not there now. So June, maybe July, pretty good consideration there. They're still expecting 3, but if they don't start till July, there's only 3 more meetings after that. So that might change in that regard. Okay. Posture wise, so how are things looking? What have we had this week? We've had a pullback on very low volume, a little bit stronger pullback on bigger volume, but still less than average. Then what? Then yesterday we got an above average day going up. That might give us exactly what we need. So I'm ahead of myself. From a short-term trend, we're just kind of riding along at the bottom of this. I don't have enough information to change this score. That's the way I see it. So let me move this over. My 1.5 is definitely going to stay 1.5. We know that. Long-term trend, we keep talking about the fact that that's just not going to shift anytime soon. Short-term, we raised it back up. I think it's going to stay there. There's no reason to change that one way or the other. We dropped a little below this, and then we got right back to it. So, yeah, no, I think it's fine. And theoretically, we got to a new high today. Barely, but we did. That's going to stay the same volume. I think we might have enough to tick it up to 6.5 or back to 0.5. Let's just go take a quick peek at that from a 1-month standpoint. I still have a couple of volume days back here. Then I have I don't know. I mean, I think this will be interesting to see how we decide to go with it. It'll be at least a 0.5, at least a 0.25, and maybe it pops. That's my thought. Stay the same, maybe pops. Major market. We keep talking about the Russell as kind of that last piece of the puzzle that we're waiting to come into focus. And you'll notice that the IWM has really done quite well. Higher yesterday, even higher today. While sector rotation has ebbed a little bit, this still seems to be flowing. I think it's close. It could get to the 1. Sector rotation dropped. Can we get back to a 0.75? Because we've had 2 drops in a row. We don't like the fact that materials and energy are surging. We don't like the fact that consumer discretionary has eased up a little bit. We still have the big 4. And if it was the big 4 without inflation pressure, we'd probably be at a 0.75. But I don't know that. I don't see that changing. Let me know your thoughts. And the VIX, let's get back to a bear with me. The VIX, I think the VIX looks great, actually. And an argument could be made for another 1/4 of a point. Under what context, you ask? Let me tell you. Hello, Stephen. Glad you could make it. We're a little light on numbers. I know today was a little bit outside of our norm, so I'm glad you could squeeze it in. What am I looking for? Well, we came down here, made this new lower low, and we had this lower high. Both of those got scored last week, if you remember. Nope. Yep. We jumped a 1/2 point. A 1/4 came from this lower high and a 1/4 came from this lower low. Now, what's happened since then? Well, we popped up a little on Monday, tested a little higher and came back down already on Tuesday. Nope, that's wrong. Let me reset that. We had started higher on Tuesday when we gapped up, and then we've been kind of pulling back ever since. But as we pull back, we've now taken out this day, which means we think this is another lower high. Another lower high. Now, here's one consideration to think about. Now that we got to this low from a shadow, but this low from a body, where do we put this? Do we consider this to be a higher low? Not yet, but if on Monday I get a candle that looks like this, that creates the possibility for a hedge. Maybe just a 1/2 a hedge, but a hedge nonetheless, right? Where it's like, okay, well, let's see what's going on with that. Traffic kept you from getting there on time. Damn that traffic. We'll count you as on time. It's the effort for us. You were here in spirit. So is this like an automated hedge signal? No. Is it a hedge that we should consider? Yeah, especially if you have bullish trades on right now, right? If you have a decent number of bullish trades, well then yeah, I definitely think considering a hedge in that scenario. Remember, it's never as good as it is when it's cheap if things start dropping. Okay. What's next? Oh, the assessment. I'm like, where was I? Here. The argument can be made that this, I think there's a chance that we end up anywhere between 6.5 and a 7. Anybody have any thoughts? Do you see anything that you think would cause us to potentially lower our number? Let me know if that's the case, right? If you think that there's the potential to lower the number. I don't think so. I think the only potential we have is increased strength. So what does that do to inform me about my mindset for trades. Today was okay. It's holding up, but we've been in a bit of a consolidative state where we're looking for it to start to surge. If we have to wait one more day, we have to wait one more day. We're starting to get signals. Posture is staying the same or getting better. So that mindset is this. If VIX going up now pretty fast, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we have a little bit of a sell-off at the end. That's fine. I feel fine. If I have some bullish trades, I'm going to hold on to them over the weekend, right? That because they're most likely just getting started. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. I feel comfortable with that. What are we looking for next week? We've already said next week brings employment data. I don't expect any negativity from that, so I would expect it supports whatever we're seeing at the time, and I think we're gonna have a good chance of seeing the market pushing higher. Okay, let's get to the watch list and see how things are looking. Okay, Apple trying to bounce, but a little bit slow to launch. Had a good day yesterday, a little less today, but overall still looks like it's trying to. We'll see what happens there. AIG got a little bit higher now, and if you're in it, you might keep pushing to see if you get a couple more days out of this. But today you can see a huge drop in volume, only 20 minutes left with a doji. Definitely seems like the buyers are taking a break. Now that's a pause. On Monday, we could go up higher, Tuesday higher, and then it starts to fall. So just because buyers are taking a break today doesn't necessarily mean that sellers are coming in. We should still be giving every benefit to the buyers right now. Okay. AMD. We had a new high. We pulled back. We're holding support. If you're in it, especially if time is on your side, if you have a spread, then you're fine. As long as it doesn't break support, you're fine. If you buy an option, you're in trouble, right? You're in trouble because time is working against you and it's going to hurt you. And is it open to consider a new trade still? I would say, yeah. I would say it is. Okay. Amazon. Flat. Time decay on your side, no problem. This is a grinder. If time is working against you, I would be very, very cautious about this, without a doubt. Okay. Okay. AXP. AXP. Looks good. I thought about this for an alert. If you were thinking about it, makes sense. Steven said BAC makes sense. JP Morgan makes sense. Citigroup makes sense. Anything financials is strong right now. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, there's potentially something there. Boeing, it's not for me yet. We'll see. We'll keep our eye on it. BAC looks strong. BLDR still setting up. It actually triggered as it moved higher than a certain point today for me. But if not, still setting up. Citi still grinding higher. That's a tough one. Was there a pullback here or did it just keep moving? Who knows? Who knows? Caterpillar looks good. Gave a signal yesterday, still moving a little bit today. Chipotle, nothing yet. Capital One, financials. Financials gave a signal. That's what it looks like. Boom, it's moving. COP, hopefully coming to an end. Costco holding up, maybe ready to go. It tried, pulled back. Tried, pulled back. I mean, look, this is a strong stock when it moves. Let's give it a benefit of the doubt. CrowdStrike, same thing. Delta overbought, waiting for the next pullback. DHI, I kind of feel like it was yesterday, and now you're either up a couple percent or you missed it. That's my take. Here's the Dow, looks okay. Here's Ford. Oh, look at that. Breaking out after the tweezer hold. Well, well, well. What have we here? Fastenal, all set up. Got an alert possibility coming, right? Would I be willing to have Fastenal and BLDR? Hell yeah. GBTC, I don't know. Looks like it's hitting some resistance to me. GE, oh, tweezer hold the other way on GE. GLD continuing to move higher. Is silver the same way? To some extent. To some extent. Google a little overbought. I'm not really feeling it there. Home Depot. Oh, I did not pull the trigger on this one. I'm like, I'm gonna wait and see. And I feel like it's the stochastics pinching now. If we get like doji here on Monday, doji, this thing's kind of like turning, and then we turn out of it, boom. Yes. Right? Maybe not quite that high, but you get the picture. That might be alert worthy. Let's see if IBM is bullish too. Oh, that picture says it sure is. I'm just kidding. It does fit, but that's a maybe, right? False start, pulled back. Same kind of a thing here, a little bit. Yeah, I'm considering it for sure. Intel, I'm a no. IWM, I'm a no. It's already moved. I'm not looking for that. JP Morgan, maybe it's trying. I would have preferred yesterday. Yesterday is where I would have had the right Heiken-Ashi, I believe. Yeah. And today it's already going. It's not going by much, but be aware of that. Meta, not quite yet. Not quite yet, but it also doesn't have huge volume. Less than average, less than average, less than average. Very close. I'm feeling it's very close. Microsoft. Oh gosh. Begging for a Monday alert. Am I right? Beautiful. Just waiting for the buyers to come in. Netflix. Netflix was grinding. Now it might go through a setup. We might have an opportunity where this thing pulls all the way back, gets to this old level here, right on top of the 50, oversold, give us a trade before earnings. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We're not in a rush. NVIDIA possibly pulling back for a trade early next week. Some more in technology. Bakar. Oh, it tried to signal today. It's a little pausing. Okay. PLTR. Oh, PLTR gave up a big one today. All the way back down to support, sitting on the 50. Not sure what happened there. A little bit of a sell-off, huh? QQQ. What do we think about that? Let's see. Covered call still holding up on PLTR, Steven said. Love it. QQQ still in a setup mode. SMCI moving into a setup mode, maybe a triangle setup mode. SPY holding up. TSM, it's a little iffy right now. Okay, here is the VIX. Yeah, I think the VIX looks okay. More info. Okay, let me see here. Sorry, got a little bit of a freeze on my computer. Walmart. Walmart setting up. This one is good. It's a little bit outside of the others. We have setups in financials. We have setups in we have setups in industrials. We have some tech. We have some communication services. Now we have a little bit outside of that because I don't know, the consumer discretionary is not holding up. I see Walmart more as consumer staples, Stephen, and you'll see here in a second that we have a bit of a divergence there. Biotech holding up, materials looking strong as hell still. Communication services holding up, looking for a signal. Energy looking strong as hell still. That's a problem. That's what we don't like. Financial still looks good. Industrial still looks good. Technology holding up, looking for a signal. Now, here is staples. Here's discretionary. Staples, discretionary. Which one looks stronger? I feel like I'm the eye doctor. Number one or number two? Number one? Number two. I agree, Steven. Staples. This looks trending and moving and stable, and this looks choppy and sideways and having a hard time. So for me, I like the fact that Walmart sits there and I'm moving it into priority position on my list. There's utilities, little bit of a surge there that we need to keep our eye on, where we're like, whoa, why all of a sudden materials, energy, utilities, that's starting to feel more defensive. We don't panic. We're not panickers, but I'm certainly going to pay attention to it. Utilities, material, energy, all doing too good. I don't like it. A little too good indeed. Those bastards. Okay, that's dramatic. Maybe. I don't know. Let's talk about our trading plan, you guys. Last week, and we are done with routines. We're moving on to record keeping. We're almost due. We're almost done with another pass. This is what I keep trying to emphasize because I think some people are like a little complacent. Your trading plan is going to be magnificent. Just every time we cycle through, get it a little better, a little better, a little better. God, if somebody did this every 2 months for a year, 6 passes, their trading plan is going to be freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. What do we, oops, excuse me. A little burp came out. Sorry about that. Yes, that's a great call out, Stephen. Yes, I will bring into play the 3 exit spreadsheet. Phenomenal idea. I better make a note of that. 3 exit spreadsheet. I'm going to give it 3 exclamations on my note. That makes it extra important. Yes, sir. I will let you know. Okay, what are we working on? Routines. Your routine should be amazing. You should know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. It's really starting to habituate like clockwork. I mean, you still look at your written list to make sure you don't miss anything. But yeah, at this point, your routines should really be looking strong. So definitely make sure of that, right? The routines are good. What do you do morning? What do you do afternoon? What do you do night? What do you do weekends? What do you do first weekend of the month to account for the previous month? That's enough for now. Eventually you might do quarterly, yearly, where you're thinking about tax situations, things like that. Maybe your tax accountant asks for things on a quarterly basis. Yada yada. Okay. Okay. Don't forget, I will see you in about 4.5 hours. We are going to talk about debit spreads now. I love debit spreads. I think I do more debit than credit. We're going to talk about, I see them, the way that I do them, I make them a little bit more speculative and credit's a little more conservative. Again, mathematically, it's less mathematical, more a preference, but we will talk about those today. And then we'll do a working session on Tuesday. We will have our Easter extravaganza on Sunday. We will celebrate, as I said, while the brisket is in its final stage of the Texas clutch, they call it. Oh, that brisket's gonna be good. All right, that's it. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Easter if I don't see you. Hopefully I will see you either tonight or on Sunday. Talk to you soon. And as always, happy trading.